Jackie, that's right. Good afternoon. We, in fact, spoke to two law enforcement officers, as you mentioned, one on either side of the river, who both said, based on the footage provided in that cell phone video you're about to see, that the shooting death of Wallace Jr. does appear to be justified. In their terms, they called it reasonably necessary. They said, given the circumstances, albeit sad and tragic, that it doesn't appear, at least right now, that there could have been any alternate outcome.
They were verbalizing to him. He was not listening.
A subject with a knife can close the distance between themselves and another person, be that law enforcement public, very quickly.
Offering expert analysis of the shooting death of Walter Wallace Jr. in West Philadelphia by two Philly police officers Monday afternoon.
Once somebody's in crisis, it's really difficult to get them out.
Both retired Mount Laurel police officer Corey Jones.
It was a sad, tragic interaction, unfortunately, for the gentleman and his family.
And former FBI Special Agent J.J. Claver are weighing in. They reviewed this cell phone video taken by a bystander.
This is not the kind of situation where a taser or pepper spray is appropriate.
In the midst of screams, it's where we see Wallace holding a knife, a family member trying to console him. We hear officer commands to drop the weapon. Wallace walks quickly around a car and then towards police.
He was making the police back up. They walked into the middle of the street, then they were moving quickly, almost a run backwards in the middle of the street with their weapons already out. They were verbalizing him to stop, to drop something. You could see the one officer motion with his hand. In
its entirety, the person's cell phone footage of Wallace's imminent fate and deadly force used by police lasted 26 seconds. We asked our law enforcement experts why so many shots were necessary.
You know, the training is to shoot kind of at what's called center mass, right at the center of the target, and to shoot until that threat is neutralized.
There aren't any other options that we have on our tool belt besides verbal commands and then deadly force in that short time frame.
It's not uncommon in law enforcement shootings like this, when the officers are interviewed immediately after and asked, how many shots did you fire? They don't know.
Now, additionally, any law enforcement officers that we've spoken to, be it current or former, they are always interested in seeing any and all angles of an incident like this that leads up to deadly force. They will be anxious also to look at any body cam footage or dash cam footage that is released on this incident. We did also learn today that those Philadelphia police officers were not, in fact, armed with any tasers, so that was not an option at all. We will hear from the head of the Camden County Police Force when we see you coming up at 5 o'clock. We're now reporting live in Camden. I'm Cydney Long, NBC10 News.